friends, this is Pooja Solanki and today I am in the most vibrant city of the vibrant state. Yes, you guessed it right, I am in Ahmedabad and today here I'll be discussing with Mr. Manan Choksi of RE about the real estate bill and its impact on the real estate industry in your favorite program, Expert Advice. Now without wasting a minute, let's meet up with Mr. Choksi. Hello and welcome to Expert Advice. Real estate bill has finally gotten cabinet's approval, but what impact it shall have on the real estate industry, we'll tell you today. To discuss the same, I have with me Mr. Manan Choksi, who is the Regional Director of RE, which is world's largest property broking company. Before we take this conversation further, let us first welcome our very special guest of the day. Hello and welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you.
So as you mentioned, everything will be documented, and I think it's the right step in this direction that we are going, and we definitely hope that real estate industry becomes transparent and there are no malpractices followed. Now moving further, I would like to ask you, people have complained in the past regarding the delayed possession. So what, in this case, what investors or buyers or end users have when it comes to delayed possession in store for real estate bill?
So delayed possession happens because of things like municipal permission. I have seen a lot of projects in Bombay being held because just the permission is not there to construct. I have seen a lot of builders losing money because of things not in their hands. So customers say that give us interest for the money you have paid, and builders say it is not our fault, it is because of municipality not giving us permission. So this bill helps in the sense that you cannot take booking till the permission is there. Of course, the time to take the permission will be part of the per square feet carpet area that the customer is buying. So say instance, you buy a land and you propose a project and it takes 6 months to get all the permission. Who will pay for the interest of those 6 months which goes in bringing the permission? It eventually comes to the end user, they will have to pay. That's why I mentioned earlier that I don't see that the cost per square feet will reduce. In fact, it may increase temporarily. However, the pressure will be on the government to fasten the process of giving permission, to fasten the process of giving the land transfer. There should not be any delay in transfer of land. So this all things will eventually, it will take a couple of years before the end users see the benefit. But as of now, in coming few years, the new inventory will in fact get delayed. After the booking, only after these permissions have been taken, the booking will be taken. So I would say delay in the projects will be there, it will increase, but the investor would not suffer because investor will invest only after all the delay is over.
As you mentioned, the builder should start booking after he's been given all the permissions. But then, as you mentioned, that it will take 6 months' time or a year's time. So by that time, property prices will definitely go up. So
yeah, as of now, there is a lot of inventory in the market anyways. So government is putting this bill at the right time when there is a lot of inventory. So even if the property prices go up, there is inventory which will get occupied, which will get used up, then new inventory will come. So government cannot bring such kind of regulation in times of boom, because there is shortage and property prices are anyways going skywards. So this is the right time to put this bill into practice. Yes, property prices in the meantime will go up if the demand is faster than the supply. But I have experienced a lot of industry, and in industry develops only when regulation is there. So if the property prices go up, it will be good that at least there will be good properties in the market and your savings are secure.
So since you mentioned about the delayed permissions from the municipal authorities, so isn't there any regulation from the central side or from the, as part of the real estate bill on these municipal authorities?
As of now, there is no such regulation. It is a dream of each builder that municipal authorities are accountable and they work, in an efficient manner. There is a lot of corruption. There is a lot of confusion. So say for instance, FSI norms, they keep on changing, and government officers, I know personally, are afraid that if they give permission, they may be labeled that they are corrupt officers. So they are afraid of signing the permissions. So I think it's a phase where India is getting developed, when we are changing the FSI norms, the municipal norms. And on the other hand, I feel that there should be some kind of accountability. Why the builder only should suffer? Why the end user only should suffer for the lethargy, or I would say confusion, of municipal authorities?
Okay, so since you also mentioned about the unsold inventory, so how would this real estate bill in the future ensure that there is not much supply, there is not so much unsold flats lying in the market?
Real estate bill is a part of regulation, and usually regulation does not mess with economy. So unsold supply is because of bad economics of the builders. They have invested, the investors have invested in properties which are not in demand. Now that is to be taken care by RBI governor by raising the interest rates. So India has the world's highest interest rate since long. We are one of the top 7 countries in the world who has the highest interest rate, and this ensures that people don't have excess money in their bank account to buy properties which they do not need or nobody needs. So this bill is not going to take care of unsold inventory, but yes, interest rates will.
Let's have a very short break. We'll be right back to you. Stay with us. So how does the real estate bill will help prevent this kind of practices?
So there is this classic example where builder has charged for a flower bed. Now flower bed by definition can be 2 feet wide or can be 4 feet wide. You never know on a flat how big is the flower bed.
Welcome back to Expert Advice. Today's topic of discussion is real estate bill and its impact on the real estate industry. We are discussing this with Mr. Manan Choksi of RE. Let's take this conversation further with him. When it comes to property registrations, we have always seen, anyone from the builder side, they mention a date, verbally they mention, suppose, we'll give you possession on this particular date, but they always keep a buffer period. That is, they'll give, they'll write years later or maybe a year and a half later date on the property registration. So do you think real estate bill will be able to help this kind of I won't say a malpractice, but something which is goofing up done by the builder's side?
Yes, this is a classic example. You are a small time end user. You have a salary, monthly salary, and you are paying a rent. You have this dream that one day I'll stop paying a rent and I'll stay in my own flat. So what you do is you have some saving, you do a down payment at a builder, and the builder says that okay, I'll give you a possession by say 2015 March. And when you go to see 2015 March, there is some RCC structure with 2 or 3 story, and your flat is way above on the 15th story of that building. So you think that okay, now I have to pay 2 things. I have to pay EMI on my loan and the rental. So now you are in this fix that okay, I have now, instead of I was reducing my expenses, now I am paying double the expenses. This has happened with a lot of Indian citizens, and government is very sensitive to this. It has hurt middle class where it matters the most. Any government is going to lose votes if it does not save the middle class. So the government suggested that let us go about it in a way which is useful for both, as in the end user and the builder. So they said that okay, let us work on a date which is possible for the builder to deliver, factoring in all things like rains, delay in permissions, factoring in everything, also as in labor shortages. We have a harvest season and the labor goes to their village to do farming. No government or the builder cannot help it. But factoring in all this, they provide a date which is reasonable and which is achievable, and there will be some leeway. Only in dire circumstances they can use that leeway. But after which a date comes in which the end user will get the possession, they will stop their rental and they will move into their own home. This is what is government is intending through this bill. Now how much rules, this will be an act, then act will have detailed rules. How much the rules will actually meet the intention of the parliament will be only time will tell that. But I would say it is a very well-meaning regulation. It will help people where they need it the most. And if things go as per plan, we'll have one of the most developed industry. like we have, because we have so much population. So we have potential to have the best real estate industry in the entire world.
Moving further, in case of delayed possessions, do you think, the builder should be liable to pay the rent of the, of the investor, of the end user maybe?
Yes, that is the provision, that in case after all this calculation they go fail, the builder has to pay an interest to the end user or investor who has paid the money, and the builder will pay the interest which is predetermined by the authority, by the real estate regulatory authority. This is much amount of interest he has to pay. So that way the end user does not suffer, as in that he, on the one hand he pays EMI of the new flat, and on the other hand he pays the rent where he stays. So there is some midway solution, but of course nothing better than having your own home on time, because you have paid for it.
One more question that has come to my mind is, generally builders also charge people, of the exterior decorations, what they do, maybe designing the lobby or designing the staircase or lift for that matter. Even that cost is incurred in the property cost, which they sell to the buyers. So how does the real estate bill will help prevent this kind of practices?
So there is this classic example where builder has charged for a flower bed. Now flower bed by definition can be 2 feet wide or can be 4 feet wide. You never know on a flat how big is the flower bed. So the bill has defined that anything what you provide has to be either measurable in carpet area or you cannot charge for it. So any decoration, any kind of, say there is this facade as they call it, that building will get a new facade, your resale value will increase. So builder has decided that they will provide this, and extra charges actually will be illegal in this once the bill is passed. So it will be a big relief. People can envisage that I am buying in 1 crore rupee apartment, so I am going to pay 1 crore. It will sometimes it happens that you are buying a 1 crore rupee apartment, you end up paying 1.25 crores. And because people are desperate, because people have nowhere to go, so they said, okay bhai, 2.5 ज़्यादा ले लो और मुझे दे दो. See, the desperation, whenever a person gets benefit out of desperation, the government has to intervene.
Now talking about parking spaces, now these days if you see, costlier than cars are the parking spaces, especially in a city like Mumbai where space is such a big issue. So do you think, real estate bill will help, maybe, this parking area ka charges or parking areas cost will go down because of the real estate bill?
Parking area is a product of today's world. Earlier parkings were not sold, they were free and there was limited parking. But today there was 1 car per head as of now. What we are envisaging in coming years, there will be 1.5 cars per head, because there will be 1 car between the family for the weekend, there will be 1 car for going to office, and there will be 1 car for show off. Which will be bigger car, and you require a bigger parking space. So municipal authorities are requested to frame the laws for the parking area according to their city. So you cannot have the same law across India. So for example, you are doing a project in a small city like Anand and a big city like Bombay. You cannot have the same law, but the municipal authority has to decide that whether you want per square feet how much car area should be there. This authority will be providing the basic framework as to how municipal authorities should give the parking, but the main point is that once it's committed, it is delivered. A builder should not charge extra for parking. It is part and parcel, and compulsory there should be a parking space for each residential unit or each office unit. Now there are good builders who give 4 car parks for 1 residential unit for 4 BHK, and then there are builders who give 2 car parks. So whatever is the case, the builder can provide more but not less as per decided by the municipal authorities. And if the builder does not provide a parking space, if he takes any booking deposit, it will be termed illegal and he will be fined under this act.
So today we spoke about the real estate bill and its impact on the real estate industry. We got to know so much about the bill, what impact it's going to have on the builders, end users, investors, brokers, and we all hope that the international standard of infrastructure, the kind of cities they have, due to this real estate bill, even we'll have this in our country. For more information on real estate, keep watching Spin TV. As of now, goodbye and take care.